that's a little loud. All right, here we are again. Doing another stream to finish up autoredding.com. I did actually quite a bit last night because I couldn't sleep. So we now have this cool, I don't love the padding there on mobile, but we do have this very cool dataset browser, and you can download all the files. Looks like it has some serious mobile issues, but yeah, we can kind of explore some auto routing data sets. And you can click on these. I also have kind of like the earliest mock-up of a dataset contribution flow. So pretty close, I would say. Close enough. Maybe let's mess with this padding slightly, because that's pretty annoying when you don't have good padding. So we'll mess with the padding a little bit on mobile, and then we'll jump over to the API. We're going to do try to integrate PG Lite, so that'll be fun. Yeah, let's do it. Gotta correct everything for being small. All right. Let's see. Contribute page initial. Just kind of track my work here. Let's see. What else do we want? Yeah. All right. So yeah, this is the contribute page, and there's kind of a layout that governs the entire app. And it's tempting to put it in here, but that actually disables a lot of ways of doing your layout. So you don't usually want to put your padding in there. Let's start with the header padding. So the header padding, which is this kind of top bar, that's pretty bad on mobile. So we'll try to fix that. Also, if you're wondering why I'm swaying, I'm on a walking treadmill. So that's that. And you can't take me off this thing. It's for my health. I actually have been so sedentary since shifting primarily to working from home that, like, when I was in Taipei and walking around like 8 hours every day, I was like dying. My knees were like giving out, which they should not be doing for my age. So walking is important. Great healthy habit. I think probably the easiest way to do this is we have this container, and we could just say px4 there, but yeah, you know, that might be good enough. It doesn't look too bad when the screen is big. So yeah, I think that's actually fine. So just px4. So it's padding x4. That's good. Let's do the contribute page. This page has a lot of mock data at the moment. So we've got MX Auto here. You can add px4, and now we've got some better margin on the side of that. The datasets page actually looks okay. It's got some padding. I actually like that page a lot. Auto routers also looks okay. Okay, so let's click into the data set. And this page has some issues. I think this page has a lot of issues. Like, I don't like this button either. Maybe I'll do something about that button, because it kind of looks bad. Yeah. But anyway, let's go to that page. One thing I don't like about Next.js is that pages are kind of I don't know, they're hard to search for when they have the slugs in the name. Yeah, we could probably add px4 there, and that might fix it in every case. Wow, easy. Gotta love Tailwind. Okay, let's improve this datasets button a little bit. So I don't love this button. I kind of want this to be left aligned, and then maybe this button to be above it. So we can change this to flex col. That's one way to do it. Or kind of just follow the flow of the regular page and kind of put it above. But now it looks kind of weird because like there's like a lot of lack of alignment. Yeah, it just looks kind of weird. So I think it's mostly a spacing issue and a little bit of a text size issue. So let's see what we can do. I'm gonna make it pretty small to start. We're gonna reduce the spacing there. Yeah, so we basically don't need that margin. And then it's got so much space on the left. I don't know what is going on, but we can try to say like PL0, so padding left 0, margin left 0. See if we can narrow that. Yeah, that's looking better. That's like left aligned now. And then I think the last thing I want to do is fade it out a little bit. And then, yeah, I think I want to fade it out a little bit. It also is like a little bit distracting, but yeah, we'll just fade it out and call it there. I'm gonna do it very lazy way, just opacity 50. I feel like there should be I want to put another line across this page, to kind of just separate the content, but it's probably okay. You probably don't need that description header. I think that's maybe a bit much. Yeah, that's probably fine. It's very simple. We're gonna keep it relatively simple for now. But there is like metadata we can add for, like we could add some little tags here. Treadmill string New Year resolution. No, I this has been in my house for a while, but I haven't used it because I use something that's a little bit less distracting. I have like a vibrating pad and a heated pad, so I use a bunch of little things for my legs. But my sedentariness has increased, so my knees have literally just started hurting. So it's like I've slowly scaled up to go through all the things in my house. But I've done this in the past because, the fact is when you're trying to hit that 10K contributions a year, you do sit a lot or whatever. But no, I don't have a New Year's resolution. My New Year's resolution is the same as my old year's resolution. Try to make some money so that TS Circuit can survive and thrive. I got something in my teeth here. Huh. I think I got it. Okay, so I'm gonna add like a little system of tags down here. I think on the datasets page, there's all these little tags. So I basically just want to copy that exact pattern. I do sit a lot, but committed to going to the gym 4 days a week. Yeah, I just canceled my gym subscription. Actually, I'm like anti New Year's yet. But yeah, the problem with going to the gym is it takes so much time. So I have tried to get a little bit of a home gym set up with a tonal, and so that's helping, I think, because you can kind of lower the amount of time. But yeah, I don't know. I wish I had enough cameras to do very, 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 very precise time tracking, because I think I waste a lot of time, but I'm not exactly sure where. Not New Year's. I started in June. Oh, nice. Wow, 4 times a week since June. That's pretty impressive. That's really impressive. Yeah. Yeah, good for the back and whatnot. That's what they say. They're like, you can sit in whatever posture you want. You can do anything as long as you when you go to the gym and lift heavy weights or whatever, as long as you're doing that, you can kind of do whatever. Yeah, last year. Oh, wow. 4 times a week. That's impressive. It's basically the max recommended dose right there. Yeah, hard to do more than that. Yeah, 6 a.m. Yeah. Yeah, my problem with TS Circuit is the contributors tend to wake up, or the contributors are really starting contribution at 3 a.m. So if I wake up at 6 a.m., I tend to get distracted and want to help people. So that is something I'm dealing with. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Pretty tough to work around. All right. Let's get this started before I forget. So we've got the dataset name. Do we want to put this in the header? We can put it below the header. And we'll throw some tags here. Samples. And then I guess I got to do these little circles. I can't remember how I did those. How did I do these little circles? Looks like I created them with Tailwind. So I'll do that. I agree about back pain. I had some, now none. Yeah. Back pain, knee pain, everything old people have been telling you for the longest time. They're all real. The demons, they exist. That's how I feel anyway. I was like, I got a good back. You know, I'm probably fine. Nope. Yeah. Very annoying to be aging. Yeah, yeah. I'm getting on it. I definitely took some time off. I was pretty lazy. I was going to the gym. I had a really nice gym, and it was fun to go to. But tough with the schedule. So, yeah, we kind of want our database to have versions for these that probably shouldn't be optional. Let's do that. Yeah, I'm definitely a believer now. All gets worse at 40 plus. Yeah, sounds right. Scaring me. Yeah, sounds right though. Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah. I think but you know, people are getting better about working out. I honestly, the Tonal is such a good program, and what I've convinced myself of, this is when I say I waste time. What I've convinced myself of is like, as long if I do a workout slow, that's fine. If I do a workout, because a lot of people are really efficient with their workouts, and I get that. It makes a lot of sense. But if you're doing like something daily, you know, it's tough. Just letting you know. Yeah, that's great. Thanks. Terrified. Yeah. Well, you know, here I am on my little walking treadmill. So maybe I'll make it through. Or maybe TS Circuit will blow up and I can pay to have my back reconstructed out of titanium. Just kidding. As we all know, back surgery is very bad. All right, cool. We got V1 now. Oh, what else do we want to add? You know, actually, versions should really not be numbers, now that I think about it. This is why it's nice to have a very flexible schema. This should really be strings. I think consistent workout is all you need. Weightlifting. Yeah. I mean, that rhymes with everything I've heard. As long as you do full body coverage. Yeah, so I have a Tonal, and they have these programs that you can run. So I really just need to stick to it. I think everything, I could not have made it easier for myself. Because this thing is like in my living room. Yeah, I couldn't have made it easier for myself. So it's really just, it's really just doing it, you know? Yeah. I miss having a team completely on US time zones so that the mornings were kind of empty. But at the same time, the downside of that is you do tend to like stay later, like past 3 p.m. Like if I worked out at 3 p.m., it'd be fine. Motivated Anch, hello, welcome. I think there was one other property I wanted to display on this data set. Stars, number of stars. You know, I'm actually going to comment out the star stuff. I love it, but we're just not going to have that functionality for a little while. All right. Review my PR last time. A lot of reviews on this one, Anch. A lot of reviews. Okay. Yes. Nice. Load capacitance. Oh, you got the same issue, dude, with load capacitance, man. Dude, like, read your code. Load capacitance is a unit too. Like, you know, you gotta apply the rule. Yeah. Sorry. Been working with Anch a little while on that one. Be brutal. I was too brutal yesterday though. And then the guy I was working with was messaging me on Discord. I felt bad. I mean, he's probably fine, but I felt a little bad. Okay. This page is looking a lot better. The padding, the button, the tags. I'm pretty happy with this. Maybe a little bit more spacing there. That'll be the last thing I futz with on the. I think that's a little more consistent. The spacing between here and here, it should be equal. Doesn't look quite right for some reason. MY. Oh, I don't know why that doesn't look right. I don't know. A little bit more. Nah, I'm just gonna keep it simple. Okay. Okay, so last thing is when you click this dialog, you can't scroll on this. So I'm doing like mobile view testing. Sorry, I will do that tomorrow. All right, man. It's okay. You know? It's all a process. It's all a process. At least you're getting the live stream reviews, right? Most people don't get to see their reviewers, and they secretly build disdain for them, you know? They get really mad at them. I feel like most workplace conflict among programmers is due to reviews. And then you have a company that doesn't do reviews, and then they eventually become trash code. You also have to understand, like, different projects have different levels of analness, because some projects are clean. They have a sanctity to them. You don't want to mess them up. We want to make this view scrollable. GitHub Copilot is free now. It's gonna have to be pretty good to bring me back. I know they incorporated Sonnet, and that probably makes it. I might make it comparable to Cursor in some ways, but yeah, it's just gonna take a little bit more to get me back to it. Okay, let's see if that scroll worked. I don't know how to make this dialog scrollable. Make this dialog scrollable. And before I submit this, I'm just going to make sure I committed my changes here. Yeah, improve responsiveness. People see my contributions. So for what it's worth, a lot of my contributions aren't external. They're internal to TS Circuit. So, you know, make of it what you will. They're not real, like, hard-earned contributions to some extent. But they're not complete garbage either. Like, you know, it's real code. But you know, if you see somebody who's contributing to friggin' like Next.js or these giant code bases and they have a high contribution count, you know, they're killing it. So you can't hover over these components or anything like that. We don't have the dynamic PCB viewer, but I think it's fine. This is pretty good. I mean, deal with it, you know. And I think that's pretty good for this page. You know, you can click in, you can browse a data set. That's really all we need. This AutoRouters page, I'm very eager to make better. Something you notice about this page on a large screen. See how the header stays at that maximum container width, but the AutoRouters doesn't? That's kind of a bug. It's annoying. So we'll do that. That'll be the last thing we fix on the UI. Then we're going into backend. That's my pleasure. Actually, I've worked first time on this repo of Core. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah, it's tough, man. Open source contribution is tough. My job is to steward the code base. That's how I see my job. That's my favorite word, steward. So my main goal is to make it so that everything is consistent, so that we move consistently towards our vision of electronics on the web. So, you know, just if you know, that's my job. So if you think I'm, you know, it's not personal analness. I think that's what a proper steward for the project should do. Future upgrade. I don't know what that's in reference to. Sorry, stream delay. Probably due to restream. I don't know what anybody's talking about ever. All right, so AutoRouters /page. Let's see if we can get to that page. And then, yeah, wrap the content in a container. This is one of the best things about AI is I always do this stuff wrong. I never get it first try, but it tends to do it right for simple stuff like that. Let's see. Yeah, it looks right. So you can see it's now not going out to the sort of fringes of the page. Perfect. Okay. Pretty happy with that. Can't complain. That's going to be it. That's going to be it for the UI. We're going to merge this in and update autorouting.com. So, yeah, fix container size on autorouting page. Make sample dialog scrollable. These commit messages can be valuable data for AI. So maybe it's important to have more than WIP. My favorite small commit message, WIP. Okay, let's go to the autorouting.com repo. And yeah, we've got this draft PR, big changes. Overhaul in preparation for API, datasets, and autorouting, autorouters tab. Okay. So we're going to make sure this deploys. Okay, so this is the current autorouting.com, very basic, very lame. So we should see this update as soon as Vercel decides to deploy it. And then we're going to work on the API. Oh, I didn't even realize this is closed source. This is not open source. This is made to be open source, so it will be open source in the future. I don't know why I didn't make it open source right now, so I guess I won't change it, but it's not supposed to be closed source. I don't think there's anything in here that's supposed to be closed source. What up, Rohit? How you doing? I always appreciate your contributions. Rohit has some good PRs. Oh, looks like maybe we're not set up with Vercel. I don't know. Let's set it up with Vercel. Looking smart today. White. Um, possibly a vaguely racist remark. Not sure, but yeah. The lighting. I'm somewhat colored by the fog of San Francisco, and so I may appear whiter than normal. Thank you for introducing that dimension to the stream. All right, let's inspect, see why Vercel couldn't deploy. It's complaining about types. All right. It's one of my least favorite things about Vercel is they're like, if you have a type issue, you can't deploy. You can turn that off, but it's like really not recommended. And I don't know. I mean, I guess they're improving the quality of code bases by doing it. It's complaining about something in the next directory, which is strange. It shouldn't be complaining about that. Oh, it wants to include that. I don't know. That's very strange. That's very strange. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Let's fix the other things, though. Okay. Version is not a number. Okay, let's run that type check. Okay, so I'm gonna hope that doesn't get in the way, but that's a generated file, so I don't really know what to do about that. Man, next is crazy land right now, in my opinion. Okay. Rohit says, I am good. Just got a new project today and got a lot of tension because the deadline is in 10 days. Damn, dude, that's going to be hard to finish up all those TS circuit contributions while you have that deadline. But I believe in you. I believe in you. You'll do the right thing first. So, because remember, with TS circuit, our deadlines are always tomorrow. Are always have it on my desk overnight. What are we creating today? We are building autorouting.com, which is where you will be able to browse autorouting datasets. So datasets for creating autorouters, as well as see the performance of some of the open source autorouters. So the reason I'm doing this is because I've had a lot of interest in the autorouters, but people, people don't really get kind of get it, kind of get the point of this sort of ecosystem of autorouters. So I'm going to try to create a hub. So people can play with the data sets and build autorouters a little easier, and maybe we can even benchmark them with common data sets. So that's kind of the idea. Yeah. It's a pretty cool app so far. I think it's gonna be nice, and if there's interest, I'll keep building it out. I can't spend too long on this because we have some really important projects I have to work on. Why is it complaining? Man, there's nothing. I mean, that's like, hey, let's Google it. Missing the following properties. Autorouter string is missing promise any. Why am I getting this Next.js issue? You had a benchmark site for AI code performance. We have a yeah, I mean, we also benchmark our AI that generates circuits. There's a guy on our on the contributing team who basically focuses on that, or does a lot of work there, basically making it so that we have like a really, really good prompt that can teach TS circuit very quickly. So that's called, I don't think he has any screenshots. We could probably run it though at some point. Dude, what is going on here? This is the page. Oh, does it? It wants me to make the page async? Okay, so it's saying datasets, page set TSX. This one is async. Oh, no. Wait, dataset name. This one is also async. For general AI codes. I made a benchmark site for that. I don't remember. Does not satisfy the constraint page props. First of all, what the hell does that mean? Does not satisfy the constraint page props. Oh my god, next. Just gonna paste all this in. The other day I was fighting the AI. It kept wanting to do something. And I was like, no, the Tailwind docs say to do it this way. So that cannot be the solution. I fought it for a really long time. Finally, I did what the AI said. And it said like, oh, you have to manually define this CSS utility function or something. I was like, that's garbage. That's garbage. You visited one on stream. I can't find it. Yeah, there are a couple. Eval Lite is the one we're using now. And it's pretty cool. Let's see if we can find a screenshot. I don't know if he's focused on marketing yet, but Eval Lite, super cool. There's another one we were looking at, but actually somebody had tested it and found that, oh, I can just ignore build errors. I might do that. Oh, I don't even have a next config. Yeah, Next.js is a very enterprise framework. I wonder if they have define config like that, or config? Set config. Are you walking and coding at the same time? I'm using a walking treadmill. Okay. So we're being very lazy to just ignore build errors, but Next.js is jank. Sorry to interrupt you, Sevi, but with the capacitance, yeah. Okay, right. All right, 5th time's the charm. Okay. Oh, dude, you changed the name, man. Load capacitance. Just because it has the unit capacitance. Okay. Let's ask Claude. What are the parameters of a resonator on a circuit. I think it's load capacitance. Okay, so we have the resonant frequency. Quality factor, bandwidth, impedance. I don't even see load capacitance here. Impedance, damping factor. If you're buying a resonator chip, what would you filter on? Resonators. Oh, ceramic resonators probably. It's most common, if I had to guess. Center / nominal frequency, the primary frequency. So that's frequency. That makes sense. Frequency tolerance. Okay. It's load capacitance. Load capacitance. I didn't say to change the name. I said to put in a unit. Not to give you too much grief here, but like you gotta. I mean, you know, it's precision. Also, pin count, is this new? We don't do this. It was called something else. Set default pin count to 3 for resonators. Just get rid of this. Just get rid of this. I think there was a pin variant thing here, but I feel like I'm bullying you at this point because there's so many. But I swear, every time you do the PR, you change. Well, okay, not every time you do the PR, you change things. But that's not true. But this time you did, for sure. Does AI write like the entire PR? But we don't have one. Should I make it in units? The load capacitance is still in the unit capacitance, right? What is a unit? A unit is if you have UF, if you have like 10 UF, the unit is UF. UF is a unit of capacitance, farads. So anytime you have like a unit, you just need to give it the proper type of unit, right? So you still use capacitance. So it's load capacitance. It's here. Load capacitance, right? Because capacitance in this case, this unit, that's like the parser, right? So you're saying the load capacitance, and that I typoed capacitance there too. Capacitance. I think I typoed it. Did I typo it? Maybe I didn't. I mean, this is the CircuitJSON repo we're somewhat anal about because it's like a spec, you know. It's like if we do something weird, people won't use it. They'll be like, the spec is not good. But like picofarad is also a unit of capacitance. So you can see when you look at these, they're spec'd by. It looks like they're also spec'd by impedance. Does it say that? ESR, equivalent series resistance. So let's add that too. But that'll probably be optional. I don't know. Yeah. If you look at how these are spec'd, they're spec'd on 3 things, right? All right. Too intense. Look, I'm just giving you the raw emotion, okay? It's my raw emotion. I thought I turned these off. These type errors that you were refusing to deploy. Next.js, what the F, man? What the F? Okay. Next.js 15 onwards, params and search params are now a promise. Okay. So let's remove my next config. It doesn't even sound like it was being used. And then let's just make these a promise. And then I guess I need to say, this is dumb. That's dumb. It's terrible naming. Params is a promise. Terrible naming. And you made that a breaking change too. That's garbage API design. I like Next.js. I like a lot of the stuff they do, but one thing that they're a lot of their API design is just really, really bad. Even the switch to the app router, how they did it, like, frankly, a lot of the ideas with app router are pretty good, but no, I think I'm sleepy, so do work tomorrow. Sorry if you feel bothered. Anshu could never bother me, except while I'm reviewing PRs. I'm always, look at the stream yesterday. I get really mad whenever I'm doing code reviews. I'm an angry reviewer, so it's fine. But yeah, good luck. Looking forward to it. Look, if we mess up the spec, nobody will use TS Circuit. I'm just being a steward, you know. So that's why I'm being anal. All right, this should deploy to next. Because the other companies I'm trying to get to adopt CircuitJSON. I actually worked at the company that defined the step format, which is ubiquitous among 3D CAD programs. But I can't remember learning anything. Like, I can't remember learning anything about how to, like, get something big into circulation or anything like that. But yeah, it's a company that runs the step format. And they're kind of small. They're not that big of a company. So it's interesting. This company that defines kind of this very standard format. They're not very big. But, you know, they do have some people. So there's money in it, but not that much. Not that much. You have to do something else. They build a little bit of tooling for the step program to make sure it translates to machines properly. Request timed out. What is this? Why are you calling the API? Is it trying to statically build the page? Oh my god, Next.js is so complicated now. Error pre-rendering page. You're not supposed to pre-render it. Yeah, there's a couple ways that Next.js is like a mega framework, and you can get data in lots of ways. So right now I'm doing server-side requests or React server components. So Next.js React server components without pre-rendering. We don't want to pre-render. Yeah, we don't want static rendering. We want dynamic rendering. Technically, you could use static rendering for this if our API was working, but our API is not working. Okay, so during rendering, if a dynamic API or a fetch option of cache no store is discovered. Okay. So we'll do that for now. Yeah, it's trying to do an optimization for us, which is like okay, but we don't want it. It's like, oh, we're gonna make your page lightning fast, and I'm like, I just kind of want it to work. So we have to edit KY basically, since we're using KY for this. Requests by default should use cache no store. Okay, so hopefully that fixes it. Crazy. I think I understand how it works, but I still think it's too cumbersome. I don't know, man. It'll be cool to have these pages. I mean, it'll be good on the API to have these pages totally static, though. When it does do that, because I'll remove this no cache option or this cache no store eventually. I think it has some really weird default cache settings though. It's like 1 hour or something like that. So that'll be a little bit disappointing that stuff won't update in real time. I might even leave this on because it's like, you know, I don't need that optimization day one. I get that it's easier to turn off optimizations, but like right now this is anything but easy. Especially because you don't throw these errors when I'm developing. Fetch failed. Yeah. It's going to fail because we don't have... How is it determining if the page is static? Next.js disable static routes. Opt out. Yeah, yes. Please. How do I opt out? Wait, what is this page? You're using... Why this warning occurred? I want to opt out. Oh my gosh, it's so dumb. I don't want to use fetch. I want to use KY. Okay, export const. Segment config, route segment config. So I have to add that to every page? Oh, I can do force dynamic. Okay. Okay. I have to add that to every page. Do you have a standing treadmill? Yes, that's how I'm walking. I feel like, you know, live streamers, they always get like a question that they'll get like over and over again for their entire existence. I think that's going to be it whenever I'm using this. Yeah, it's kind of annoying to watch, probably. I don't care. It's good for my knee health. So we discussed at length how aging destroys our knees. One more deploy. One more deploy. Wow, I don't even know if we're going to get to PG Lite. We'll see. We'll see. It'd be cool if this camera, I have a face tracking camera now. It'd be cool if it tracked fast enough where I could get rid of my treadmill movement. But for devs, it's smart. I think so. I think so. Yeah, they say standing. You know, I was standing a lot, but it wasn't helping my knees. So hopefully this helps. I think it will. But because it requires like a little bit of the stability stuff, and it also balances across my legs, because I like, whenever I'm standing, I always stand on one leg. I think it's like an artifact of being a hockey player, because when you're on ice, I think you usually like shift your weight between sides. You're not usually putting weight on both feet. You would be unstable if you did that. So but anyway, I don't really stand with both legs, the like, you know. So standing isn't that effective. Supposedly sitting and standing, they're both not so good to do. If it's the only thing you do, you got to move. So now I'm walking. Okay, it looks like we finally deployed. We should have deployed to production. So a lot of these pages are going to fail, but our page is now deployed. We can click on data sets. It's going to fail. It's going to say server-side error. That's fine. That's expected. It's going to do that for basically every page, except contribute, because this one is a mock-up and isn't real. So that's fine. That's fine. That's expected. It's expected. Now we can work on the API. Before we do the API, we're going to incorporate PG Lite into it. So we need to set up a test fixture with PG Lite. PG Lite is a way of doing of having Postgres kind of like embedded in your application. So we're going to use this to make our test suite run really, really quick, to avoid Docker containers and stuff like that. So we'll be doing that in a minute. Oops. Oh, shoot. It's too quick on the hotkeys. What's that repo? Autoredding.com. Is this your startup, or do you also have a full-time job? This is my startup. Done, but not bothering you. Can you check now whenever you want to? Sure. I will take a look at your PR. Just because I'm annoyed at the PR doesn't mean, you know. This is why employment is nice, because like people understand that even though you're annoyed at someone, they still should do the work, I guess. Equivalent series resistance pin variant. I said to remove this, dude. I feel like you're not looking at my comments with like, I don't know. It's okay. What other variants are there? I'm not aware of another variant at the moment. I don't know. I might have said something. Maybe I'm giving you too much grief. I might have said something else on stream. But this does look good. Also, but you know what? The casing. This repo is all in snake case, but you did pin variant with a capital V. You know, like this stuff matters. You gotta, you gotta like I don't know, man. I don't know, man. You gotta be right on that. You gotta be on top of that stuff, right? Yeah, I said to remove. Otherwise, I think it's okay. Make sure to resolve these too. Or that one, is that one resolved? Load capacitance, I think it's resolved. Oh, I'll take another look. If it's in props, it's in props. The TechMan person is defining in props of the resonator. yeah, that might be okay. Props and Circuit JSON like kind of aren't related, right? They're similar in some ways, but Circuit JSON is a specification for the build. I mean, it says it at the top of the README. Circuit JSON is a compiled intermediary low-level Circuit JSON representation. Okay. And then if you look at props, it says this is designed for user ergonomics. Ergonomics for the user, unlike Circuit JSON, which focuses on ergonomics for a renderer. So you got a treadmill table. I am walking on a treadmill. Good to see you, Rashab. Is that your startup, or do you also have a full-time job? This is my startup. Wait, how did you do that? The hot search. Hot search. A hot search. Did I do a hot search? I don't remember doing a hot search. Oh, do you mean like Raycast? How open source earn money? That's a great question. I'm still figuring that out, so I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I figure it out. But, you know, at the end of the day, what you got to do is create value. So hopefully somebody is able to create something very valuable with TS Circuit. And after that, you can figure out how to make money. So I will remove that, but then based on further issue with which is a resonator and core, I will need it because I'm making a 3-pin variant resonator. You won't need it. You won't need it. I can't think of where you would need it. You need it in props maybe, right? But props gets past a core, and core converts it into Circuit JSON. But I can't think of where you would need the pin variant in Circuit JSON. And if you look at probably every other component, they don't have pin variants, so I don't think you need it. Good night, Rohit. Thanks for stopping in. Got a little bit of a jam going this morning. I like it. All right. So fix dynamic rendering issues. We're going to push that to main. We're also going to configure Vercel to auto deploy this repo. And then we will embark on our PG Lite adventure. All right, cool. So PG Lite running a full Postgres database locally in WASM. Okay, so we're gonna be playing with this. Before I do that, I need to take a minute to grab some water. I am getting those 10K steps in. You gotta get those 10K steps in. Yeah, dude, my knees were falling apart in Taipei, so I was like, I gotta do it. I'm in a nightclub watching your stream. Well, Rishab, you're having a hell of a night, man. I mean, what is better, you know? A girl will probably look over your shoulder and go, "Wait, is that Sevi Ibar from Twitter, the coding live streamer?" And then you'll probably get laid. So no problem. Thank me later. Like you just did a search for cell. That's cool. Is that a tool? Probably not. I probably just hit Command K. A lot of websites have Command K commands now. Okay. Anyway, I'll be back when this timer ends. I'm gonna get some water. All right, Ansh, before I review your code again, take a look over the PR. Go to the review tab. Why didn't you just walk on a treadmill to get the water? What does that mean? What do you do? You can't do this. It's not possible. Ansh, okay, before I look at this PR, just give it a quick scan. Go to code change. Make sure all the comments that you resolved are resolved. Take a look over it. Just be like, okay. You know? Yeah, I get you remove the pin variant part, but just like take a glance over the whole thing, you know? Get those resolved comments. Like, I think you're set up for this to be the last review. I think you freaking got this, dude. I think this is it. All right, I'm pumped. We're gonna get this contribution, but just, you know, do a scan. It's good sanitary practice. No need for that. No. There's always a need for that, actually, because, you know, okay, you've resolved everything. You've read it over. You feel really good about it. You feel really good about it. All right, this might be too close to bullying. I'll take a look. Because so many reviews. I should make you describe what a resonator is. Okay, but I won't. Okay. Cool, awesome, good. Okay, source simple. Wait a second, source simple capacitor, dude. You changed source simple Why are you changing capacitor? Why are you changing the capacitor file? You changed the capacitor file, dude. All right, man. You know, I don't know, dude. I don't know, Ansh. Don't change it. Why are you changing the capacitor file if you're working on a resonator? Read over your code, dude. Read over your code. Yeah. Read over your code, man. Oh my gosh. Search for apps and commands window is the one I'm talking about. This is Raycast. I'm using Raycast, and you can put in lots of hotkeys and do lots of stuff. It's Raycast. If you want to know how I'm opening VS Code windows automatically, I have a script that generates Raycast shortcuts. I think it's open source, but I don't like to do too much like meta stuff on stream. Or if I'm gonna do meta stuff on stream, I do a dedicated stream for it. So I'm not gonna go into that too much. Last second review is a must. I was inches away to pushing into prod. Yes. Last second reviews are essential. I mean, you really like, you know, it's not in school. A lot of times they say, oh, look over your test, and people don't do it. People don't do it in school. They're like, I'm smart. You know, I'm not going to look it over. But like, you're only screwing yourself if you do that. In the real world, if you don't look over your code for a code review, you're wasting like other people's time, you know? I've got a myth, Don. You like, I don't know, dude. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. You weren't careful on that one. You weren't careful. Be like 10 take your level of caution and increase it 10 times. Maybe like, yeah. You're gonna get put into a bucket where if like I'm gonna have a bot for this anyway, but it'll unassign me and assign somebody else, so you'll have to go through 2 reviews each time. Because like, yeah, like it's too many. You're helping with my contribution count though. I think every review I get 1 more contribution. So I guess thanks for that, but these are ultimately meaningless. Okay, PG Lite. We're gonna play with it. We're gonna have a lot of fun with PG Lite. It's a really, really great framework. It's not going to look that great while we're using it because you're basically just using Postgres, but man, PG Lite, fantastic. If you haven't given this a star, definitely give it a star. Fantastic framework. One of the reasons to use Postgres is PG Lite, I think. These guys are friggin' killing it. You know, I wouldn't even mind. Let me see. Electric SQL. What is Electric SQL? Why fetch when you can sync, swap out? Oh, yeah. I you know, honestly, I might have used these for hosted sync that's blazing fast and scales to 1 million of users. Yeah, I don't know if I want to sync Postgres data. Like, I don't know. I don't really believe in the local first app paradigm yet. You know, sorry guys, But man, I would love to pay these guys, you know, with a service. They have a cloud product. Electric Cloud is in private alpha. What is it though? I feel like since I don't use their normal product, I think for some heavy user apps, which I don't work on. There's something. Actually, you know, there was an app recently I would have used PG Lite for that would have been pretty good. The Snippet CLI. That'd be a really good one to use it for. Actually, now that I think about it. But I also have to sync to a file system, so I don't know how hopeful it would really be. But yeah, anyway, okay, let's dive in. We're gonna open up our template API project, but we're gonna be modifying this template. I don't know if I have it cloned. Okay, TS circuit slash template. I think it's template API server, maybe. Template API project. We're going to be deploying this to Fly. We're going to have a lot of fun. The auto routing backend. But first we got to get it, the test suite working with PG Lite. So how does this test suite work currently? So this project should be runnable, I think. It's a runnable template. Yeah, it's already failing on some stuff. Okay. Love it when my templates don't work out of the box. I wonder why this is failing. Pre-built binaries are not installable. I think libpg query is something required sometimes when you're parsing Postgres queries. It's like compiled from WASM. So it's probably used by a dependency, but what dependency would use it? We have WinterSpec, that's not going to use it. PG connection from env, possible, but unlikely. PG strap, it's PG strap. Okay, so let's update PG strap. That is our migration tool. Okay, so now we got version 5. Let's install. Okay, now our install is working. Let's run our test, bun test. Could not connect to Postgres. Okay, cool. This is the part we're going to replace. We shouldn't need to run a Postgres server just to run tests. They should run automatically. Yo, Shiba, what up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You missed some pretty good PR grillings. I really gave Ansh a piece of my mind, and he stopped responding on stream. So I think I may have offended him. In my defense, that was like review number 6. But yeah. Okay, so how this works, we don't usually in TS circuit land, you know, we're not working with Postgres too much. Please merge. I am mad. You're mad. Look, man. Who are you mad at? Are you mad at me? Source simple resistor, source simple resonator, load capacitance, frequency, equivalent series resistance. Looks good. Great job. Look, hey, you know, I mean, look, dude, I put work into this, all right? I put a lot of work into this. I think, like, you're mad at yourself. Okay. Yeah. Just like, yeah. You know, a lot of times I assign people to review code. Like, I like when people are code owners because the more code you review, the more you realize how much you need to review your own code and, like, and stuff like that. So, try to, yeah. It's good. Glad you're not mad at me. The road to great development is getting those PRs in. All right. Not going to talk about that anymore. Okay, start server. So, we're connecting to Postgres. We're getting a connection string from our environment. Sorry for ruining your night. Now that I think about it, you did ruin my night. Granted, it is noon for me, but even though we're yet to even approach the afternoon, let alone the evening, it does feel like you've tainted it in some way. It does feel tainted. So apology not accepted. All right. So anyway, we're supposed to be able to swap out this client for a PG Lite client. I think I have to install PG Lite. This thing kind of made funny. I don't know why. Well, please do not do it again. Get that many reviews. It may be funny on a live stream, but I assure you, getting pinged all day had we not done this on live stream would have been worse for everyone involved. But yes, it is. It's good. It's good. It's good. Let's see. How do we install PG Lite here? Okay, so Electric SQL PG Lite. Okay. Gonna add that as a development dependency. You don't use it in production unless you're doing some different stuff. Okay, so we have PG Lite installed. I'm gonna reference a different project, our registry API for TS Circuit, that already has PG Lite incorporated. But I've made your stream popular. Rage is popular. I don't know. Have you? I don't have access to the view counts. Am I at like 5 viewers? I have made you. I made you. You're a made man. How do we do this? That doesn't make any sense. Made man is it's a completely different thing. Okay, so presumably in this is kind of rhyming the code. Okay, so we get test database. So that's probably the function we want here to copy out. Okay, get test database. Does this use PG Lite? All right, there we go. It's got a PG Lite mutex. It runs migrations. Looks great. Okay, so we're going to create a file, get test database.ts. And it's creating some stuff on the global this object. But we don't define this. So probably somewhere else in the project that mutex is getting defined, but we can just do it here. So declare global PG Lite mutex PG Lite instance, and that'll fix the type errors. And then it's just running a migration. Looks pretty normal. Nothing strange there. Okay. So let's try to use that new function we created here. Looks like the migrations are run elsewhere. What does this take? Get test database. It needs a test database name. I'm not going to give it one. Looks like it's optional. Okay, so then we got the DB. Is that it? Okay, let's see if this works. So we got to install some new packages. Keasley PG Lite. So we use Keasley as our client here. Can I find /mutex? Okay. I think there's a mutex class defined somewhere. I don't really know how any of this works. More or less copying code. Okay. Mutex. Mutex.ts. Mutex. So a mutex, a way to make sure that multiple things cannot grab our PG Lite handler. I think PG Lite uses a lot of memory, and it can make your node process run out of memory if you're running tests in parallel. So our tests won't run in parallel. That's a big downside to this. but you can fix that in a variety of ways later. I actually think it's fine because I believe in distributed testing when you get to scale, meaning you run your tests across many machines. If you have 1,000 plus tests, you should actually run them on many machines, even on CI. Okay, cannot find module mutex. I think that's just delayed typing. If we restart TS server, that should fix. Anas says, hey, what up, Anas? How's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. Nice. All right, that's it. It's kind of unclear what we did, but we're now using PG Lite. We don't need to start up a Postgres instance, which is super, super cool. I'm gonna update the winner spec dependency just to keep things up to date on our template project here, and then I'll create a PR. New, I don't know, PG Lite. Add PG Lite for development. PG Lite isn't perfect in many ways. It has a lot of things it can't do, like loading all types of extensions. So it's not perfect for development, but it usually does okay. Yeah, I do avoid a couple features because it won't work in PG Lite. One of the most annoying problems is I think it's hard to get multiple clients or to get a URL. That's a thing that many people on that team are working on, or at least from my perspective, I was looking around their repos. I think they're working on it. I'm surprised this doesn't run tests on CI. Does this really not have... There's no workflows directory? Oh, wow, there's no workflows in this repo by default. We could probably add that. I just merged, but I think that'd be a good addition. How is called stuff that you make shortcuts like GHPR create? GHPR create is not my shortcut. That is the GitHub command line utility. So you should definitely install that. You might already have it installed if you have the GitHub desktop client. So yeah, definitely give that an install. All right, so we created our workflows directory, and then we're going to use TS Circuit plop to plop in button test. We'll also plop in button type check. What else can we add? That's probably the only ones we need. We could do format check, and then we could make sure our package.json has the proper scripts for formatting. Yeah, it doesn't have them, so we can add those. Again, we don't really work on backend stuff too much. I love backend code too. For what it's worth, man, backend code is so much easier than what we do in the libraries. It's like every problem we work on in TS Circuit is like, you know, it's a notch above, let me tell you. Okay. Add format scripts and workflows. Okay, now we got a PR. All right, so this time we're going to wait to make sure that the workflows pass. I thought yesterday was the first time I was streaming to TikTok. It's actually today. Today will be the first time I stream to TikTok because it turns out I don't pay for like Restream Premium, so I couldn't do it. Yeah, we can turn that off. I hate that TS config setting. Verbatim module syntax. There are some... Let's see, is it explicitly turned on? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. There are some config settings that are really just for people who are anal, and that is one of them. Like, it doesn't really do anything to have your to have like import type versus import. It doesn't. It's not really going to do anything. It can prevent certain types of bundling, so it can be useful, you know, if you're building libraries. But especially for an API, it does nothing. So it's mostly an OCD sort of thing. Disable verbatim module syntax. So verbatim module syntax, you're required to put in the import type if you only use the type of something. Let's try this again. Okay, it's complaining about the build. So I think maybe this project requires pre-build. Can't remember. We'll do it though. Does this require pre-build? So we'll do that before we run tests, and then we'll do it before we run type check, because it seems to be required for type check too. But format check should be fine without it. It takes 6 milliseconds to build. That's how quick the build is. So it's not really a big deal to build. This is a simplified builder. Next goal, CPU circuit tracing. Yeah, eventually. Yeah, TS circuit is more or less a way to define a circuit. It's not, even though we build tons of stuff for the evaluation of circuits and actually constructing them, it's more or less a way to define the circuits. So chip design is certainly something we could eventually do. We're a definition layer. You can use many engines. Like we use free routing for routing, so you can use many engines to with TS circuit. It's not like a full tool chain, although we do have a default tool chain. So but we won't do that for a while. I'm more concerned with just making that process of creating electronics as easy as possible. Ooh, we're still failing. Bun test is failing. Okay, let's take a look. One fail. WASM, blah, 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 blah. Runtime out of bounds call indirect. I don't know. Bun release a new version. Broke stuff. Bun did just release a new version. Let's see if that breaks things. No, it's still working for me. What about drag and drop components? We support that. Yeah, we support drag and drop. Yeah. Yeah, so drag and drop is another like augmentation. When you use TS circuit, if you use drag and drop, what happens is we create a data file called a manual edits file. Right. So if we look at this, I don't know if this board has it. Oh, this board's broken now. Already has a net label with, what is this? Cannot create a net label for C, blah, blah, blah. Oh, somebody messed up. Actually, this looks quite old. I don't know why this is broken, but I don't like it. Let's see if this one's broken. Okay, this one's working. But anyway, you can, this one's probably empty, but when you drag and drop, it edits this manual edits.json file. So I can edit this one for fun. So if I drag this around, whoops, see, it edits that file. And then if I rerun, oh, I actually have an error right now. So let's import the manual edits file, apply it to our circuit. And now these should persist. Oh, actually, we have to... These PCB positions are overriding it. So if I remove these... Okay, now I run. So now I can move this component around, right? Manually. So that's how drag and drop works in TS Circuit. It's a little bit jank right now, but you know, getting better. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a complicated system in some ways. Like, you know, you want stuff like drag and drop, but you don't want to compromise the nice like generative properties of TS Circuit. So it's always like straddling the compromise, making things optional, especially so that automatic features can come along later. Because ideally boards are automatically laid out with some constraints, like your USB port is on the edge of the board, so you might want to specify that. I don't know why this is failing, but it feels like it shouldn't be. I'm just going to rerun it. We're going to see if it fails again. I've never seen this. I've seen some janky PG Lite errors with WASM, but I've never seen this one in particular. This is the danger of integrating PG Lite or anything with WASM, is it can be a little bit unpredictable sometimes. It fails so quickly too. WASM function, invoke. What I'm going to do is, we know we have a working version over here, so I'm going to see what version of PG Lite it's using. It's using 0.2.4. This one's using 0.2.5. Seems unlikely that changing the version will help, because it's just a patch release. A single patch release, pretty unlikely to have broken something. But we can try it. And it's only breaking on CI. It's kind of a nightmare. Roll back PG Lite slightly. So we'll see if that fixes something. You know what else is weird? Next is listed as a requirement here, but you don't have to deploy this with Next. I guess it's optionally deployed with Next, but I'm going to stop deploying with Next so much. So we probably can remove that. Let me, let's see. I wonder if I can add a fly toml. That'd be pretty cool. Let's add a fly toml so that these projects can deploy a little bit faster and easier with fly. And I think I need a Docker file too whenever you're using fly. Okay. Ooh, yeah, debug for sure. My service. Doppler config prod, yeah. Internal port, that's going to change per app. You can create those shortcuts in your shell profile. What shortcuts? I don't know why I'm so aggressive sometimes. What are you talking about? I don't like Red Axios anymore too. So we should port this away from Red Axios. Just to update this template to the flavor of the month. But Red Axios has bad types. The types don't match Axios. It's also missing some features, so it's just not worth it anymore. All right, so wherever we use Red Axios, we'll swap that out really quick. Default KY. Oh, this should be default KY. Because we're going to create a KY with a prefix. Why are you still complaining about this? Didn't I turn this off? Biome is linting for it too? Get out of here, Biome. Man, Biome has so many rules that annoy me. I'm going to go through and try to get all the rules at some point that annoy me. Okay, style, use import type. Off. Use import type. Okay. Cursor is also like, what are you doing? Default KY, create, and then in KY you do prefix URL. And then we won't call this Axios, we'll call it KY. We'll return KY from our test fixture. So get test server returns a KY instance that you can use to do stuff. Okay, let's find other instances of Axios, place those. And then the most annoying thing about KY is you're not allowed to have that leading slash, which annoys the hell out of me, but it's fine. Got to compromise somewhere. Let's take a look at this Docker file. Oh, it's empty. Let's copy a Docker file. This will speed up how quickly I can deploy things to Fly. Okay, looks good. We'll want to update this. So Bun is at 1141. Okay. Got the Doppler CLI going. I like that. Kind of unnecessary, but I like it. Oh, we even have an entry point script. Ooh, this is maybe a little bit too fancy. So entry point scripts, they're the first thing that Docker file runs. And most of the time you don't have to modify them. You run your command. You don't worry about the entry point script. But you can use it to do special things. So let's see. In this case, it looks like we're using it to start with Doppler, which is fine. So we're saying if Doppler is defined, we're going to start with Doppler. Doppler is a service for loading environment variables. That's very, very nice. And I would highly recommend Doppler to anybody managing environment variables. Template project. Okay. Good. Oh, we don't have the start Fly script either. Oh wow, this is turning into a project. Getting this ported to Fly here. Yeah, winter spec dev is a little bit is that what we do? Is that what we do around here? It's probably not the best. That's a development command, so it's probably not the best thing to run. Run server with worker. Okay. I'm gonna try to keep the name similar, so I'll call it startfly.sh. Why are you on a treadmill? To move my body, so that I'm not sitting still for a long time. Why are you sitting? You know, think about that. Freaking got him. I guess this is this a TypeScript file? Oh yeah. I've got the irrational urge to play Starfield again recently because I never finished it, but I was also playing it on like Xbox Live or whatever, so I was streaming it, like not live streaming it, but like streaming it in. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you can play games without running them on your computer. So anyway, I have this irrational urge to play Starfield. How much is it? Because I think I have to buy it if I want to run it on my computer, and I think I'd rather run it on my computer. Let's see, Starfield. Oh, $42 though. I don't know. I guess it's discounted. I don't know though. $42. But I do have the urge to play it. You know, for everyone saying, "Oh, it's not, you know, good, whatever." You know, my standards aren't that high. It was fun enough while I played it. I don't know how far I got to. I might have been close to beating it. So I might be paying for it just to replay it. All right, we're still copying stuff over. How does this run? Oh, wow, this is starting to get a little bit complicated. Okay. So we'll say template, we'll say API server, try and make this a little bit more generic, lib server, API server. I didn't realize how deep this this well went. So we've got a class apparently for running the server. What's in here? Oh, wow. It's kind of complex. Interesting. But it can run a worker in the background. So that's nice. Okay, we'll do it. You used to subscribe to a virtual PC. Do you still do that? I'm trying to think. Do I do that? I was subscribed to Shadow. Shout out to Shadow. Recently had a breach and leaked all the data. I think. Because I think I got an email. Like, you've been hacked. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna, should I include some worker code in here? Maybe we will. Maybe I'll really, overdo this template a little bit. Easier to remove than to add, no? Yeah, I was subscribed to, Shadow Tech. I think this is the website. You could stream a Windows PC, which is pretty cool. But Xbox kind of released a thing where you can stream online. I think it's called X Live or something like that. Xbox Live, maybe? Xbox Live. Game Pass. Game Pass. They might even still have... So there was this... I followed this website called Slick Deals. Slickdeals.net. And I was able to get 3 years of that Game Pass for $40. So I bought 2, and then I gave it to somebody else so we could play games together. So I paid $80 for 3 years of games. And when, you know, the alternative is like I could have paid, you know, $40 for one game, right? I don't have an Xbox. No. Game Pass you can use on a browser. Yeah. Anyway, there was, you know, the site always has, like, surprising deals. Let's see if they still have something on Game Pass. 12-month Game Pass for $40. So the price has gone up. I'm pretty sure it was an exploit because I had to do some weird things. It wasn't like a, you know, like a crazy, like, it wasn't like a crazy bad exploit. Anyway, yeah, so this game, whatever, Starfield, I'm probably not going to spend more than 12 months on it. So I might as well just buy Game Pass and then have it for a little bit. But you do need really good internet. I should have pretty good internet, but let's see. Starfield, Game Pass. Let's see if it's even on there. Yeah, it's on Game Pass. So I could just buy another year of Game Pass. Just doing a big Game Pass ad right now. Yeah, what else I have? I don't know. I always get it, and then I look through it, and there's not that many things I want. But I spend too much on Steam. I probably spend like $200 a year on Steam games, which feels like a lot. All right. So this is code essentially for the world's simplest background worker, and it's a really bad pattern. But I like this pattern because it's so simple. Starting a server and a worker, but I will have to adjust this at some point. When you're running workers in production, you usually want like a fleet of workers. You want multiple workers. Then they can crash and stuff like that. But anyway, this is a single threaded worker architecture, which is got its own benefits. Your logs are single stream and whatnot. Okay, wow, that was a lot of work. I wonder the script should work now. So let's do bun run script /start fly.ts. It's really more like start server. Yeah, let's change the name. Start fly.ts scripts /start server with worker.ts. Okay, failed to connect to database. That's a pretty good error. I'm going to call that working enough. I might have to come back and tweak things, but I don't really want to test with the database right now. It wouldn't take that long, but cool. What do I feel like the rename didn't go through? Start. I have 2 files here. Let's delete this one. Cool. And then start fly, we'll do start, server, and worker. I think is the name of that script. Bun, run, start, fly. Module not found. ls scripts, start server with worker. Cool. Bootstrap, fly, config with worker. It's a fun way to scale a server where you just have one, the same server that's handling endpoints to handle your workers too, and 0 coordination on jobs. Yeah, I gotta revise this. I think I like to use this system called GraphIL Worker for running jobs, but they don't work yet with PG Lite, as far as I know. So when they do work, I will switch to that. And I don't have a giant job queue right now, so it's not really a problem. NPM CI in our format check. So I think I used the wrong workflow. Going to remove format check, replace it with bun-format check. Replace format check. All right, I've stopped the treadmill. Got tired. It's a lot of walking. Okay, format check's still failing. That's like the easiest workflow. Ooh, oh, is it because code is actually not formatted? Okay. I think there's some things that need to be added to the config here. Let's see. So what do we not want to format? I don't usually care about configs, tsconfig.json. These can be manually modified, so you just kind of want to avoid doing it. That might be it. Format code. Oh, biome JSON is a good one to ignore too. All right, type check still failing. Let's see. Property data does not exist on KY response unknown. Yeah, this is another annoying thing about KY. Whereas Axios, I believe at any cast, you actually have to specify types with KY, for better or worse. And then that's also the conventional way to do that. So I'm surprised those tests even pass. Still some failures, maybe WASM issues, yeah. Huh. Let's see if anybody else has hit this. PG Lite, GitHub. Check for some issues. Bundle does not work with PG Lite. Interesting. Is that this one? That looks similar. I was closing the database too quickly. Hold on, I got a doorbell. See if anybody's on it. You got it, Angela? Did you order something? I don't know. I think it's from my mom. Cool. Handled. I gotta make lunch soon. I'm gonna make some, I'm gonna stew some beef. Awaiting that and putting in a tiny sleep would reduce it. Okay. So it sounds like when you clean up, you gotta be a little bit careful. Maybe that will do it. That commented outline that I don't understand. Doesn't break anything, so let's commit it. Thanks for the Game Pass recommendation. Just got it. A happy weekend. Oh, that's great. Yeah, glad to hear that. Enjoy. I hope you know if you have fiber, it's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah, that's so funny. Should have a referral link. Yeah, I played it for a while. Starfield. It's pretty fun. I don't get bothered. You know, Starfield's a first-person game. I don't get bothered by the latency. A lot of people get bothered by latency with some of these things. And I do if the internet's not so good, or, for example, Game Pass actually is integrated with Meta, the VR headsets. And so you can play something like Starfield on your in VR on a giant screen, right? So you like put on your VR headset, you put on the giant screen, and then you can play Xbox. It's pretty sweet because it's the biggest screen ever if you play Game Pass in VR. But the latency was too high when I played with us. It was like 10 milliseconds behind, and it had nothing to do with VR. It was just they couldn't get that connection fast enough. So if you're playing Game Pass on your phone, it probably is okay, honestly. But anyway, the type of game, like some games are going to be a little bit harder. Starfield is among the hardest because it's first person. I guess like Call of Duty or other fast-paced first-person games would be worse, but yeah, that's just my recommendation. Third-person games are really, really great, even with latency. Diablo is on Game Pass. Oh, shit. I gotta do Game Pass. Do I like that genre? I feel like I probably would. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. $70 worth of value as long as I beat it in a year. I'll probably do that. Maybe I'll do some Game Pass this weekend. Wow, this is so sad that we're getting this I think it's an out of memory. Out of bounds call indirect. You're a Diablo 2 fan. Let me see if I remember Diablo 2. That might be the only... Yeah, that's the only one I've actually played, so... you know. I was terrified of Diablo growing up. This was one of the first games I like, was playing, and it was really bad. I didn't get very far, but I was just scared of it. It freaked me out. I mean, yeah, I don't know. If you have some imagination, this is a very scary game, I think. The art is very detailed. It's not like pixelated, like, garbage stuff. It's very and the art is very consistent, right? Like, so like your imagination can really take over and fill in the blanks. Yeah, it's a dark game. Yeah, it was really scary, and I don't think the newer ones, because it's almost like because they look more realistic, because you're not looking through foggy glass. Um, they seem like they'd be a little bit less scary because you're looking through the foggy glass, or you're not looking through foggy glass. There's no room for the nightmares to crawl in. Okay, so this close didn't fix it. This guy didn't really give any good help here. I think the problem is the test suite is running too fast. I was closing the database too quickly and it hadn't completed on listening to a channel. What does that mean? Oh. Oh, I can set debug 1 to PG Lite create. But I'm using Keysly PG Lite. Maybe I can still provide it. Yeah. So I could push this up and try to get a consistent failure on CI. It's kind of annoying, though. The other thing I could do, I'll run both options here. The other thing I could do, this is very naughty, but I could just add a little timeout. Just a little timeout. Because it sounds like my tests are running too fast. So what if I just sabotage the test suite a little bit? Just a little bit. Add timeout. So we'll run both of these and we'll look at the logs. Oops. Okay. So fix. Oop. I think this is out of date. Yeah, there we go. Okay, add debug. So that's going to give us the logs, and it seems the timeout didn't work, so useless. At least the timeout that small. Maybe the issue isn't the test suite running too fast. Okay, now we have very, very detailed logs. Or do we? I think we have more logs, but like, I'm no expert here, so fake shutdown, I don't know. Oh, random person on the internet. Why didn't you tell me exactly what code to run? I didn't await the unlisten. The async handle that is returned to from listen. Okay. But I don't think I even use that. And I just use PG Lite create. Do we have any other options here? I don't know. The other so this returns a PG Lite instance. Go with this PG Lite instance. which has a dialect and a client. What else does it have? Nothing. Dialect and a client. Okay. Let's see if this after each is even getting called. That could also be an issue. Closing client. Is usually how it goes with PG Lite here. After each server.stop. What if I also said... Wait a second. Server... Start server. Oh, the database is in the server, I guess. Is that the only thing returned? Oh, that's interesting. I think this should return the server and also other things. Like if you're creating a database, I think you should return that database as well. DB client. I don't know. Just adding more layers to the closure. Try harder to close DB client. Does this guy close the server? No. Big bro, you were accepted to YC. Were you accepted to YC? No, I was not. Big bro. Were you? I don't think YC loves solo founders. Yeah. But we're already funded, so it's not too tragic. And we got an interview last time. So yeah, it doesn't like it. All right, very interesting. I've never applied. I know my place right now. Well, you know, I guess if you already know your place, there's no need to put you in your place. So I'll refrain from judgment at this time. But good luck, you know, if you do apply. It's a golden ticket, YC. From my perspective, it's kind of like a golden ticket to get $2 million. So it's good, but you know, you can get away without it. I don't know. The other thing I could try to do, since I've never seen this error before, is in my bun test, I could try to use a very specific bun version that I believe in my heart will work a little bit better. So we could use 3.9. I was using 3.9 for a really long time. Revert bun version. We're fucking around and finding out. Okay, failure, same thing. Yeah, it doesn't seem specific to the version. This is kind of weird because I'm using PG Lite in other modules, but without this issue. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I would love to give a good report to the PG people. You know what? Maybe I'll do. this is a decent enough reproduction. I have it consistently on CI. I'll just link them to this repo, and it works locally. So I'll just ship with my tests somewhat failing, but I've got a good reproduction here. So yeah, I think it's not a super simplified reproduction, but good enough. Okay. So yeah, just clean up for merge. I'll add the debug flag. Nah, should I? Here's what I'll do. Start server. I'll add the debug flag for them only on CI. Yeah. Debug. PG Lite mode on CI. Okay. And then we'll merge that. I think maybe bun test doesn't run against main. Yeah. All right. Let's adjust that. I'll commit that directly up just so that the PG Lite people, if they take a look at this, they can see it. These guys are doing us a great service, and I would love to pay them. Cool. So we're gonna add a comment to this issue. Hey everyone, I have a consistent reproduction of this issue. The logs can be seen on a repo. It could be a bit more simplified, but thought I would share. Example with tests run with debug logs, repo to reproduce. I can only get this error on CI Ubuntu. Can't get it on my MacBook. Cool. I could also update PG Lite. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we did it. We did it enough because we can deploy this without it passing tests on CI. But I am eager to see how that pans out. I should probably bookmark that so I can come back to it later. So I think that's probably a good place to call it for this stream. I do want to do a bunch of API work, but I gotta eat lunch. I actually haven't started lunch, and it's probably gonna take a while to make because it's gonna be beef stew. So thanks for following along. Definitely turn on the bell on whatever platform you're on, Twitter, etc., to see these when they go live, so I don't have to post on Discord or whatever to try to shuffle people over. Especially if you want to get reviews, but and if you want our big year-end update, you can subscribe to the blog.tscircuit.com. But anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you. Ease a knife, welcome, but also I'm dipping, so thanks for stopping in. But I have a hunger that only food will satisfy, as they say. But thanks for stopping in.